Hello, Arm Wrestling Masters. It's Gao and Jordan Dancho Zonev. Here we welcome you into our Arm Wrestling Mastery video about busting the myth of overtraining in arm wrestling. The idea of this video is to explain a little bit our method, which is the Arm Wrestling Mastery method. It's a mix of the best advices of our strength coaches in Bulgaria for past decades, mixed with our own experience. You know, Danchu has a lot of international and world-class matches and so on. So we tested our methods in various ways. So basically, what we want to talk about is what you need to know about overtraining and why there are different angles when someone says overtraining. What do we understand when we say that? What is very important to not overtrain? How you can improve your recovery, and also how you can improve your strength in the ways you stretch yourself in the future. And okay, so we're going to start off. I will kick with the initial topic, and Dantu will add whenever he wants to add something on top of that. So basically, when we say overtraining, most of the people are like thinking in finite general terms. I train too much, now I need to stop or decrease immensely. When we think about overtraining, our psychology, our way of thinking is that you cannot overtrain arm wrestling. You can injure yourself. Yes, you can like stretch yourself too much to completely exhaust yourself and let's say burn out your nervous system, and you need to recover for a longer period. But if you follow some rules, like some very important rules, you will be able to increase over time how much you train, how many kilos you lift, how many hours of arm wrestling you are able to take, and your form in general. So, Petro, can you share like your personal experience with overtraining? Like, did you manage to overtrain yourself over the years, and what you learned from it?
Yeah, so what is overtraining, or at least what most of the people say about overtraining? So overtraining is a thing that happens when you train a lot, and the more you train, the worse you are feeling. But I mean, you don't feel yourself as before. You are getting, your arms are starting to hurt, and your power drops down. You don't feel about doing anything at all. So I have experienced something like that once in my life, and it was in the beginning of my arm wrestling career. It was the second year, I think. And so in the beginning, I was doing one training per day. Then I broke my arm, and then I started to doing 2 trainings per day. And during the period of 1 training per day, so the period was very short, so I cannot say that I started slowly adapting my way. I broke my arm, and then immediately I started doing 2 times per day. But I need to say something. Then I was 17 years old. So what that means is that I have better recovery.
Well,
And I was doing only this. I was doing only arm wrestling, eating, sleeping, and training. This was at my summertime free time in school. But I increased in 3 times per day this training in time. And
So what
mm,
you have noon and evening trainings every day.
say that again?
Morning at noon or like afternoon, and then evening trainings.
At night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I did this 3 times per day. I think it was when I started school again. So at the first moment I was starting to feel okay. The first couple of days, 2 weeks, I was feeling okay, but in time I was feeling like crap. I couldn't. My nervous system wasn't prepared at 100%. But I saw that even though I wasn't feeling okay, I could still reach my top records,
Yeah.
and I was reaching them every day. So I was thinking, okay, even if I am reaching this kind of exhaustion, I'm still getting my records. Why? Because Ivana Bajev, one of the legends in weightlifting, he said that the more exhaustion, the more adrenaline comes out of your body. That's why your body is meant like this, because even when you are exhausted and somebody is trying to kill you, adrenaline rushes and you start running until you die.
To 100%.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yes, but you cannot do this every day, because all the things that are included in producing this type of hormones in your body, they at some point they will,
Yeah.
you need to recharge.
You're
So
depleting your chemistry, like you're draining.
yes, so you need to have a resting part, like resting time, like the bear. She is like at 100% anytime, but at winter time she's like that. So you need to have periods where you are training hard and periods when you're resting. My resting periods are after competition, 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks, doesn't matter. But-
Can we say that you, because we want to address, many people are wondering how they can do 2 or 3 times a day training and so on. Can we address how long should we do that? For example, in your particular case, 3 times a day was too much because of it was too many times to get in that mindset and start training and get warming up and training again, or it was just because you were trying to outdo yourself every time. Now in today's preparations, I've seen you do like 8 hours a day, but separate in two chunks. Like, does it mean that you feel better and recover better when you train, let's say 2 times, but more time, more hours than the same amount of time, but separated in 3 times?
Yeah, so this is interesting. I cannot really say, because it's sometimes it's different. Sometimes it's better to train 3 times per day. Sometimes it's better to train 2 times per day, the same amount altogether. Why? Sometimes when overall you are feeling okay, and when you train 3 times per day, you can, let's say, 3 times per 1 hour and something, and altogether is 4 hours. When you are feeling okay, you can warm up faster. When you are, your joints are ready and your muscles. That means that, let's say, every time you spend 10 minutes for warming up. And that's okay because you have short period of high intensity, then rest, short period, high intensity, rest, short period, high intensity. But if your joints are very,
inflamed.
yes, inflamed, you have some kind of a pain because it's not only up to the resting and the training. In our lives, many things change. So you cannot actually predict how are you going to feel. It's not only up to training and resting.
Mm.
And if it is this the case with the inflammation in your joints, then it is better to do 2 times per 2 hours, because when you have inflammation in your body, you need more time to warm up. So 2 times per day is 2 warming sessions, but 3 times is 3 warming up sessions.
But
And
shorter.
if you are warming up with inflammation, you need at least double time to warm up. And this double time, if it's 3 trainings, you are losing 20-30 minutes more in the whole 4 hours just for warming up, just because you rested and you started third training. So this is why it is better sometimes to do 2 times per day, but longer. When you're training longer, you're anyway warmed up, so you can just continue to train without warming up.
Absolutely. Okay, so the next thing that we want to just touch upon is how we recover between those sessions, because some people have working hours in their days. Most of the people, and we cannot afford to have a 2 hour sleep after training with how many meals we want to have. So how we cover that part in the long run?
So the one thing, so let's say overtraining is not the right term to use, because when somebody tells you, oh, you feel bad because you overtrained, what are you going to do? You just train less. No. It is better to say that you don't have enough recovery, because like saying like this, you are focusing on getting your recovery better. And what is the best way to recover better? In my experience, in 2019, what I did was, before the European, 2 months before the Europeans, I started training 3 times per day. Every training was 2 hours. So every day I was training 6 hours. But my first training was at 12, 1 o'clock, after 1 o'clock p.m. So from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. The second training was from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And the third training was at 1 to 3 at midnight. And every day I was feeling worse and worse and worse. And the thing that I changed is moved this last training early in the morning. And this changed the whole game. So it is very important how much you are sleeping and when you are sleeping.
Yeah,
So
the
very
night sleep
important
is
go to sleep as early as possible. Let's say 10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah, we
have to go-
need to give a glimpse of why is that, because the human body is built upon circadian rhythms, and then when you have the night sleep, it's the highest quality sleep, and you can go into the deepest, like neurologically, you're recovering, your body's recovering faster because the whole chemistry changes, and that's why.
No, and why it changes? Because there is no light. And the people for thousands of years are getting up, started working when the light comes out.
Absolutely.
When it is dark, you cannot work, so you have to go to sleep. That is or do something else.
Evolution. Okay, so
Yeah.
last thing we will cover for today to say we gave plenty of examples that it's possible, it's done on how to push yourself in a way that you can continuously train and not overtrain, like not injure yourself. We mentioned that in the one of the previous videos, which was the growth pain versus the injury like pain. And yeah, I just want to say try to stretch yourself as much as possible, but not more. Like first, when you're starting out, let's say you train your whole life 5 times a week. Now you're starting out to train every day. And then next step will be some days to train 2 times, maybe not every day. After that, you can start training every day 2 times, and maybe even before competitions, think about something more excessive. The thing is, do not try use the fast adaptation, like see where you're going to go in the first few sessions, and then when things are starting to slow down, do not overreach. Like try to challenge yourselves even with 1 kilo plates, instead of trying too much too fast and like making a big inflammation or even worse, an injury. And so can you give us like a few words on your personal feeling when you're starting something new, a new exercise or a new approach, new set of trainings, or how you adjust it and how do you make it work?
I can add something. I can suggest to everybody who want to try this kind of system. So 1 week, 7 days. Monday, one training. Tuesday, one training. And Wednesday, you do 2 trainings. Thursday, 2 trainings. Friday, one training. Weekend, resting. And like this, you can do 2-3 weeks. And then the first day, one training. The second day, 2 trainings. The third day, 3 trainings. The fourth day, 2 trainings. The fifth day, 1 training. It's like going in the middle of the week is the highest intensity, then slowly getting to rest, and Monday again. But in time, you need to go higher and not so slowly higher. I mean, you can start from Monday 2 trainings, couple of days 3 trainings, then Friday 2 trainings again. Saturday you can train one day, 1 time per day, and then Sunday rest. So slowly you're going higher and higher at your intensity.
Great. So this is the way we can test out our limits and see what we can do. All right. So maybe in the next session we can cover what types of, in a little bit more detail, how do we see the warm up, the working weight, and the things that we are also mentioning in our program, which is a great time to share with you if you want to understand our method in details, in very concentrated videos with a lot of organization in them. You can check the link below and check out our pre-sale of our Wrestling Mastery program. Okay, guys. So thank you, Datru. I think we totally debunked that it's not overtraining, it's not training and recovering correctly. We covered sleep, the night sleep. We didn't cover food and meals, but I think we can do it in a separate video. For now, what you need to know is that you can challenge yourself, find proper time for you. If you want to do 2 trainings, you can start before work and then do the next one after work, because we all have jobs to do. And don't be in my personal experience, I also was like very skeptic if I can do it, and I'm working 10 hours plus a day and I'm still able to do it, and I feel stronger in each iteration. So you can also do it too, for sure. That is it for today. Hit the subscribe button and see you next time.